So on the right upper medial arm, that would be the inner side of his arm, there was a superficial abrasion. Again, that's a scrape. Then on his right posterior arm and forearm, so not exactly on this aspect of the arm, but on the back side of the arm, which would be in the back of the diagram, there were multiple abrasions, which I described as ranging from 2 to 3 millimeters and up to 7 centimeters. I noted that there were 2 bruises on the back of his right hand, also a faint scratch on the back of his left hand, and then moving down to the lower extremities or the legs. If you could please show the front, there was a small abrasion, a small scrape on the side of his right knee.
We're back live in Dedham, Massachusetts, our coverage of the retrial of the century. I keep saying that because it literally is the retrial of the century. Important testimony there from Dr. Scorbello talking about the injuries, because remember with the first jury, they couldn't figure out exactly what happened to John O'Keefe, how he died. And you're gonna need to look at evidence like the injuries on the victim. So we're gonna go through some of the photos that were shown to the jury. We're not showing you John O'Keefe's face or his head for obvious reasons, but let's start with that right hand. Take a look at the right hand. And the testimony associated with this is, yeah, there's a couple holes there because that's life-saving measures, trying some IV or something, but there's still some bruising in that right hand. Margaret, what story does that tell this jury?
Well, hopefully it doesn't tell them that it's evidence of a fight. I really don't think so. I think that they're going to look at that head injury in particular. And
wait a minute, wait. I'm asking you about the hand, and you're going to the head.
I know, I am, but I do believe that all those cuts and scrapes, as I've said before, and the injury on the hand would come from blunt force trauma, from being hit by an SUV and then rolling around. I mean, I honestly do believe that.
A 6,000-pound vehicle bruised his hand. Not one bruise.
If you fall down hard like that,
But I'm talking about the vehicle hitting him alone would cause bruising all over his body, all over his arm.
Not necessarily. It depends on how you're...
Just got hit by the right side and you get clipped, as she said, and fall back and hit your head.
By a 6,000-pound vehicle.
It's not a direct impact.
What is it?
You can look at videos all day long and see people actually get hit and clipped by cars and get up and walk away. No two pedestrian strikes are the same. And he's got bruising. He's got bruising there.
It's a defensive
wound. Got the injuries on the... That is not a defensive wound, and it would not be on the right side of the body.
The most telling thing that she said was that she looked at the lower extremities. That you always do that in a car accident. Nothing there. It's not marked. So then you're led to believe then that the car hit his arm.
Let's take a look at the arm. We've got the photo. This is the photo.
And then he went flying 30 feet.
We've been looking at this photo for years now. It was shown to the jury again today. This, to me, it always comes back to this photo. Because everyone you talk to after they look at this photo, they have an opinion.
Right, and I'm saying that in the fast trial, they said that he flew through the air 30 feet just by hitting his arm, not the torso, not the body. That really tries the imagination of people. Again, is this nailed down for the prosecution beyond a reasonable doubt? I mean, this is just one of many theories.
Yet, you know.
And you haven't even heard the defense yet.
But let's talk about the arm.
Wait till you hear the defense.
Let's talk about the arm.
No puncture wounds.
Scorbello was the one medical professional that had a chance to look at the arm in person. Scorbello, if you're going to praise her for not having an opinion on the method of death, you likewise have to credit her when she called every one of those injuries a superficial abrasion. Not a single puncture wound, not a single laceration. For those to be dog bites, Chloe would have to have no mandible, no bottom jaw. They're all on one side. And what did Chloe do, if you believe it's a dog?
Unless you're wearing a shirt or a sweatshirt.
We've got a picture of that. We've got a picture from the right arm of the gray hoodie. Let's take a look at that as well. And the jury got to see images of the hoodie and taking a look at some of the holes. What story does it tell?
You have a circular puncture hole through there. And if you look at the thread on that sweatshirt, the thread is coming out. So whatever went inside also had to have come out. If not, the thread would be going inside, okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. And it's, so, hold on. But the taillight being, 47 pieces, why is there none in his wounds?
So you're saying a piece of tail light can't go in and out?
That's my point.
It's got to be a dog?
That's my point. It can't go in and out.
It
would have to be a one-jawed dog.
No, not if it's not a highly trained dog who
Where's
can't get a grasp.
It would not work its way up that arm.
Where's the dog
They're
DNA?
trained to
They didn't
go
check
for the
They didn't
neck.
swab his wounds. They swabbed, Michael Proctor swabbed his shirt.
Their pet
You're
dog was
trusting
not
Michael
trained to go
Proctor
for the
now?
neck.
Are you trusting Michael
Every
Proctor?
dog instinctively is
Thank
trained
you,
to go
though.
through
So
the
that's why there's no dog DNA, but there is pig DNA.
I don't know about that, but yeah,
So here's my point in all of this. I've polled the audience the other night and asked them, how important do you think the dog evidence is? And everybody is focused on the dog evidence. Is that really good for prosecutors or really bad? If the jury is thinking the same way the public is, if they have the same reaction where they want to hear from dog experts and they're focused on the issue of a dog.
Well, the Commonwealth has the only expert that's ever forensically diagnosed an injury as a dog bite from an unknown source. Dr. Russell had treated dog bites where it had already been reported they were dog bites. Garrett Wings trained dogs. He's a behavioral dog expert. He's never been presented with an unknown source of an injury and said, based on my training, that's a dog bite. Sure, he's seen dog bites, but the Commonwealth has the one expert. And again, we're looking at these in a vacuum, in isolation. When you think of the car data and John's phone only moving for 20 seconds and him being found and not having sufficient time to go in the house, these are all building blocks to the same conclusion.
But there's
the
building
person that
blocks
said
on
I
the
hit
alternative side.
him.
I could give a long laundry list of everything that would exonerate her also. And so then you have this confusing mismatch. I don't know whether we're ever going to find
put him in the house.
proof positive. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Whiffen did. Absolutely.
In 20 seconds?
way.
Listen, the
He walked in,
80
thanks
feet,
for coming.
absolutely.
That circle.
You done?
And
In the
Ian
house.
Whiffen said himself.
Can we take a look at the right leg real quick? Real quick, let's put up the right leg, because I think this is significant as well, because again, it's the right side, it's on the outside of the right knee. This seems to be, is this a good fact for prosecutors?
Of course it is.
It's a good fact for prosecutors.
So again, and the medical examiner was operating under the fact that she thought that the theory was an impact from the front, in a direct impact. If you're going to be attacked, you're not going to be attacked solely and exclusively to the right side of your body. Everything lines up, everything minus a few little
Unless
lacerations.
the dog jumped in.
is
You've got
on
the
right
lacerations
side
on the face. You have a dog jumped in. It's going to be on the right
Where's your evidence of a dog?
She knew Karen.
There's no evidence of a
Karen
dog.
hit him. She knew Kerry. She called Kerry. She knew all these facts that Hank Brennan was hoping she said no to. Even though she still knew all those facts, the manner of death was undetermined. He did not get struck by a vehicle.
This is, I have to reiterate, this is not, this
But
is
the jury
legion. The
hears it.
manner of death is never determined by the medical examiner. The jury's going to decide whether it was a beating or a car accident.
Is that a Massachusetts thing with the medical
Yeah,
examiner?
homicide is redacted from the death certificate, I think, in almost every jurisdiction, because questions of liability are left for the jury, not for a forensic
But the fact
medical
that she
examiner.
was able to testify and say, I don't know whether he got punched or whether he fell back and hit his head, she still brings up these reasonable doubt questions again. She's very, very helpful. She was a wonderful
We're
for the
looking
defense
at one
today.
snippet.
Yeah.
They left out
All right.
probably about 50 questions of rehabilitation with all the
Speaking of
information she didn't
questions,
know.
when we come back, questions,
You're next.
comments, theories from our live studio audience. Don't go anywhere.